All right, time to finish off the show with rapid reactions. A lot of topics, a little bit of time. Take it away, Drink.
Let's roll, baby. Former defensive Bronco wide receiver Demaryius Thomas was found dead in his home on Thursday night. Thomas was just 33 years old. Jay, I know he was one of your favorites. What are your thoughts after hearing this tragic news?
He was, and yeah, definitely tragic news. The guy was, if you remember back in 2014 when we were sailing around the world, we talked about top five receivers. Demaryius Thomas was a guy
Right,
we
right,
talked
right.
about. He was when you think about Peyton Manning's time with Denver, Demaryius Thomas was his best receiver. He's a champion. He's a second all-time leading receiver in Denver history. But more than that, I mean, so many like testimonials that you saw via social media from players and former players just I think really told the tale about how special this guy was as a person too, and definitely one of the most infectious smiles that I think I've ever seen. He's going to be sorely missed. Michigan's Jim Harbaugh has been named the AP College Football Coach of the Year in a fairly close vote. Harbaugh garnered 22 first place votes and 103 points, while Cincinnati's Luke Fickell came up with 16 first place votes and 88 points. Drink, did the AP get this right?
Damn right. Michigan played better competition. Like, listen, I don't know why people trying to make this some big deal. Like, oh, Luke Fickle, oh, he got a group of five to a playoff. Okay. And so did Jim Harbaugh got Michigan to the playoffs. Who do you think had the hardest route? I'm just spitballing here when you got to play Michigan State and Ohio State and Wisconsin and just spitballing here. Yeah, that might be a little tough when all I can really roll out for Cincinnati is Notre Dame, Indiana, Houston. Yeah. I'm going with Michigan. So yeah, I think the AP they got it right. I think Jim Harbaugh. And listen, kudos to Jim Harbaugh because I've been waxing this dude for quite a minute. Him and his khaki pants under achieving. He been flopping around here. He took his team to go see the Pope over there in the Vatican. He did all this extra stuff. He was down in Florida kicking up a dust with Nick Saban down there with the satellite caps and all that. Kudos to him, man. Finally, he winning, and now the spotlight is off all of his shenanigans and is actually on his team for a chance. So kudos to Jim Harbaugh, but I think they got it right. Houston big man Christian Wood admitted he was a little surprised after the Rockets became the first team in NBA history to win 7 games in a row after losing 15 straight. Jay, you appreciate that level of honesty?
I do, and I think especially like from a young player, like this is less surprising for me. I tell you what, though, if you're like in like media relations or whatever, like this is like an example. I think of a player like being too honest. They're like, "Hey, man, what are you talking about? Don't be talking out there like bashing our team. Like, go out there with the gusto and tell them, nah, man, we out here. We do this, man. Like nobody believed us, and now we out here rolling." That's what if Christian Wood was probably 5, 6 years older, that's probably what it would have said. But it is nice to hear the real deal. Staying in Houston, David Culley has decided to start Davis Mills at quarterback for the remainder of the season. Drink, is this a big deal, a little deal, or no deal?
This is a absolutely no deal, baby. Who the hell cares other than the Houston Texan fans? Like, are you kidding me right now? You could probably ask the owner of the Texans, hey, do you care about this? He'll be like, who? Like, hey, hit me with them names again. David Culley. Is that my GM? No, that's your head coach. But he want to let David Mills going to be your starting quarterback. Oh, that's my GM. No, that's your starting quarterback. That's how it would go. Like, no deal, baby. The Packers said the injury suffered by wide receiver Randall Cobb during the team's last game was a core muscle injury that requires surgery, and he is expected to miss several games. Big deal, little deal, or no deal.
It's a big deal, I think. Not that Randall Cobb is necessarily the most talented guy or the fastest guy in the world anymore, but he is a trusted target of Aaron Rodgers, played with him for many years before returning this season. So if he's out for, hopefully, I think what they're hoping for is he'll be able to return for the playoffs. I think that is a big deal for having him next to Devontae Adams, being a little safety blanket in the middle of the field. I think his loss, if he's lost for playoff time, that would be a big deal. After losing by 13 to an undermanned Memphis Grizzlies team on Thursday night, Los Angeles Lakers big man Anthony Davis believes he's cracked the code. He says the Lakers need to play like underdogs. Drink, what do you make of this?
They need to trade Anthony Davis. What are you talking about? Trade his ass, man. What are you talking about, Anthony Davis? Yo, no, play back. Oh, yeah, we need to play like the underdog. No, you, specifically, you need to play better. You're not even 30 years old, bro, and you out here playing like you're 35. You're dependent on the guy in year 19. You got Westbrook. His knees been bad for the last, 7 years over here. I mean, this dude blow more layups than, a guy with no elbows. But you gonna tell me, let's go out here and play like underdogs. How about you get in the gym and play like you want it? We haven't seen him play like he wanted since the Lakers won in the bubble. So let me get this right. The only way Anthony Davis can really win anything, you got to put the whole NBA in the AAU circuit, and then Anthony Davis can get you what you need. But God forbid if you got to go on the road and come and go home and all this other stuff like a normal NBA schedule. What do I make of this? Anthony Davis better knock it off. Hey, Rob. Hey, Big Rob. Holla at your boy, man. Find some trade partners for Anthony Davis. I'm about to get sick of him. I told you if we would have got Damian Lillard, we could deal with the Adamant things. We could deal with that. Just go get him. Let him heal up. We'll come on, man. Anthony Davis, he's just not in it this year. He is not in it to win it this year. Unbelievable. We play like underdogs. Man, please. In a statement made on Thursday, Toronto Raptors GM Masai Ujiri announced that he has tested positive for coronavirus. I think this sounds kind of familiar too. Jay, you love talking about COVID. What are your thoughts on this?
Yes, favorite subject of all time. God, he was fully vaccinated, boosted, was wearing a mask, and he still got COVID. It's almost like it's a virus, and it do what it want. The other thing I really like is when somebody notable like this, like he was at a party or a gala or whatever it was, and they test positive. They automatically come out and they got to give a statement, and they got to give the laundry list of everything they did to not get COVID. I'm fully vaccinated. I was boosted. I wore a mask in coherence with the guidelines of the local public health authority that's getting on my last damn nerve. I don't even care. Who cares? I don't care. You tested positive. Take your isolation. You got boosted last week or whatever. You'll be fine, man. Tomorrow evening at 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN, it's Lomachenko versus Comey at Madison Square Garden in New York. The former three-weight champ, Vasily Lomachenko, takes on former champ Richard R.C. Comey. Drink, the lightweight division seems to be popular right now.
Absolutely. Listen, we had Gervonta Davis last weekend. We had Devin Haney fight. So we had Devin Haney fight last Saturday. Gervonta Davis fought the following Sunday. Now we got Lomachenko fighting Saturday. So let me tell you, man. And then we had we had Teofimo Lopez fight the week prior to that. And those are four of the main guys in the lightweight division. So hey, man, and listen. The crazy thing is these guys are spread out between 3 different promotions. They're not all fighting on the same promotion. You got Gervonta that fights for PBC. You got Teofimo that fights for the Zone, and then you got Lomachenko. He fights for ESPN, and you got Devin Haney that also fights for the Zone. So 3 different networks, and somehow they didn't figure out a way to get all these guys to fight around the same time. That way you can make future fights. So they're on fire right now. But to this fight, man, I think Lomachenko coming off a loss to Teofimo Lopez last year. He didn't bounce back. He getting back in shape. This is a tough fight, a very elite fight against Richard Coleman, who used to be a lightweight champion. But I'm gonna take Lomachenko on this one. I like Richard Coleman. He's a gamer. He is a gamer. But the last time I seen him fight on this level was when he lost his title in a knockout fashion. So I don't know if he quite shook back from that. Lomachenko, he did lose his titles, but he lost his titles in a decision fashion. So Lomachenko is trying to fight and get back in that mix. So I'm gonna take him in this fight. I'm gonna take him by decision, and we're gonna do it like that. Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy was feeling pretty good after returning to his office yesterday and event. He said, "We're going to win this game," referring to his team's Sunday showdown against the Washington football team. What you think of that, Jay?
Bulletin board material. We got bulletin board material, folks. You know, Ron Rivera, like, he's like, look, I get it. Like, you want to be confident in your football team. I get all that. And it's like, he said, but what am I supposed to say? Like, well, you don't do something to just give the other team some juice. That's just common sense, Mike. I think you've been around the game long enough to know that. Should the Cowboys win the game? Probably so. I say they're the more talented team. Dak Prescott, I know he's making way more money than Taylor Heineke, but I'm gonna tell you, like, Washington's won they won 4 in a row. Dallas been slipping lately, so this is a dangerous game for Dallas, and McCarthy better hope his team back it up. Tomorrow night it's UFC 269, Oliveria versus Poirier on ESPN Plus pay-per-view at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Main event is a lightweight title fight between the champ Charles Oliveira and the number 1 contender Dustin Poirier. Drink, who wins?
I gotta give it to Poirier, man. Like, listen, I'm a big fan of Charles Oliveira, and I think he got a well-deserved title shot against Michael Chandler, but this ain't Michael Chandler there, Oliveira. You got some wins against some killers, but none of them is Dustin Poirier. So I think, listen, and for those that don't follow, MMA or UFC, Dustin Poirier could have fought for the title probably a year earlier. But I mean, I take that back. He did fight for the title, but that's back when Khabib was running the show and wasn't nobody beating Khabib. So that was what it was. So he went off, did the second and third fight with Conor McGregor. During that time, the title ended up changing a couple of times. Now is his time. I think Dustin Poirier will be your new UFC light heavyweight undisputed champion of the world. And I'm not going to say by knockout because Oliveira is pretty tough. I've seen him take some licks and bruises. But I do think Poirier probably win this one by unanimous decision.
All right, that concludes tonight's Drink of Wisdom. As always, like, listen, share, subscribe. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jay Watts.
And I'm Nathan Drinker. And remember, make tomorrow better than today and make today better than yesterday. And you know what we going to do. We going to holler at you until next time, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, this is A Drink of Wisdom.